See, here's the difference. Like when men are immature, there's serious consequences for it. When women are immature, they just walk off a podcast and complain.
But since when has
Like,
a woman
it's fine.
shot up a school?
But that
That's-
wasn't
that's my
anything to
point.
do with like.
That's my point. Like
the time.
men have to be
Like,
emotionally mature.
But that had nothing to do with the argument.
That
We're,
had
we're having a mature conversation about life and relationships.
And then on
That has
air,
nothing to do with
She made up
anything about.
a bunch of nonsensical points that had nothing to do with the argument. I said men in general are more logically sound and deductive problem solvers than women. She goes and says, I've met a bunch of guys that aren't logically sound. Do you not see the disconnect there from a
Do you not-
competence level?
Do you not see the disconnect about bringing up somebody that's going through something that's probably
but
way
can
He
I-
did the
can
same
I
shit
say
she been
something,
doing.
though?
He
But can I
just
say
brought up a
something,
random
though?
thing too.
But can I say something?
What the fuck?
Can I say
He-
something?
Like he
That's
did
fucked
that
up.
to show.
That's fucked up.
It's no, it's not.
all
No,
I
it's
have
not.
to say.
Because
No. How's it fucked up? Explain to me.
I
Just
just
because
said
he
it.
brought. I mean, can I say something? I used to cut myself. I used to cut myself about 2 years ago. And that's genuinely because like I wasn't mentally okay and I did not have the emotional control to deal with what the fuck I was going through. So what he's saying is that like he's proving a point that women deal like with their emotions and they make decisions based off their emotions and not being logical. I used to do the shit. I don't have the scars anymore.
Mhm.
But like I used to do the shit because I was young. I mean, I still am young.
Mm.
But like I just genuinely thought like the world is against me. Oh my God, the
Yeah,
world is. But
but
I was
for
living in my
real,
fucking
but-
car. My
but-
parents are multimillionaires. I was living in my car, and I went through a whole shit that I went through. So I understand why. I mean, yes, it shouldn't have been brought on the internet. Okay,
Right,
so
that's my
what?
point.
No,
But my
yeah.
whole thing is that like what the point he was just trying to prove a point, and the thing is that she wasn't listening.
Yeah, but
So it's like the point he had to go that far to be like, okay, you women make decisions off of their emotions versus men being logical thinkers. And the fact that he had to go that far because she wasn't listening, that's just what the fuck it was.
she kind of proved this point by walking out and being
Yeah.
emotional in
Yeah,
the first
pretty
place.
much.
Like it literally proves our point that she couldn't even control her emotions. Yet you guys were sitting here arguing that women are more mature. I would argue it's the other way around. Like it is what it is. I mean,
but that had nothing to do with. the
yes,
fact
That's
just
the
that-
like
point
that's the
of what
point
she did earlier.
She brought see how you guys didn't say fucking shit when she brought up a bunch of retarded shit that had nothing to do with the
Oh my
argument. He
God.
does the same thing. Whoa, this is so
I hurt her
messed up.
feelings.
He brought up another point
Bruh.
that had nothing to do with the argument
But
to a
it's
degree.
it's not about disagreeing and like hurting somebody's feelings. That's like something on like that's not something that you bring up to like the public.
See, this is what
Or,
I
like-
mean.
I mean,
Women
it's on
enable each
camera.
other's stupidity. Bro, she was being stupid. He checked it. Y'all are sitting here defending and
Okay.
enabling her stupidity.
You're right.
This is why girls, a lot of the times, like, aren't held accountable. Y'all say dumb shit all the time to each other. No one checks you guys. It's crazy.
Bruh. I just find it hilarious, but
Crazy.
it's fine.
You know what I mean? It's like you should have been telling her, yo, your argument doesn't make sense versus, oh, that was mean, fresh.
But
That's
at
what
the
that
end of the
mean.
day, everybody's different. No two people are gonna think the exact same. So like,
But he's over here stating facts, and to be honest, a lot of the shit that's being said is opinions. So it's like, how can you sit there and deny facts? And as a woman, okay, yes, I'm female, and yes, I'm for the girls. Okay, cool. But he's not wrong about half the shit that that's being said. And I'm not even gonna sit here and try to. I mean, yes, it was kind of like, oh, like damn, nigga, like I didn't even peep the shit till you said the shit. But it's like,
Mhm.
I mean,
right,
were you wrong?
that part.
I'm just saying the choices made from that one action probably are not going to be the best choices possible. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yes, that's very true though, because like I said, 2 years ago when I used to do the shit, I wasn't even like, you know, I was living in my car. Mind you, my parents make very great money. I was living in my car just simply because I didn't want to fucking my feelings were hurt by my mom, and I didn't want to fucking listen. So she was like, "Okay, get the fuck out." Like, okay, boo fucking who, bitch? Like, what the fuck?
Mm.
Like, the women, he is right. Women base things off of our like emotions.
And it's fine.
Men are, and no, it's not fine, because a lot of the shit that we go through, we put it on ourselves.
Mm.
We go through a lot of shit. Like, I can sit here and tell you my whole fucking life story, and I can be like, boo hoo, this happened to me. But there are people who are fucking starving and don't have a house to go to and don't have a mom and a dad and some more shit. But it's like, I have a mom and a dad, and so they look at me as lucky. So, you know, like, it's just kind of like everybody has their sad story. Everybody has a boo-hoo story. And it's like, okay, like it is, people look at we were having a conversation earlier. People try to gray the world. The world is very black and fucking white. shit is what the fuck it is, and the more you take the world is like, okay, it is what it is, the better off you'll be. Because then
Yeah.
the fact that's like, oh, I go through this and I go through that, okay, make the changes and fucking fix it.
Mm.
Like, you know, better up yourself. Grow some, like, I mean, like, not even grow some hair on your chest, but like, bitch, you bleed once a month. Like, come on now. Like,
Yeah,
buck up.
I think in general there's a lack of personal responsibility. I think if your life sucks, you need to take some accountability for your life
Exactly.
sucking. And I would argue that women have easier lives than men do, especially in 2023.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if we want to go into this realm of, you know, self-deletion or whatever, men are far more, you know, likely to commit, you know, self-deletion than women are because men's lives are harder than women. So
They are,
if your life
especially
sucks, it's kind of a lot of times there's some personal responsibility on you to make it better. It sucks a lot of times because of your own inadequacies, but we don't have that conversation, right?
shit. I will.
So I mean, yeah, but I'm saying in general, we live in a society where we coddle people from their bad decisions.
But that's fucked
That's
up.
probably the first time she's been called out for doing that, and it's like, oh, my feelings, or whatever.
I don't think it's even about like feelings or being
It
the
absolutely
first
is.
It's
time.
definitely about feelings. It's because she could have been like, and been like, okay, but, or okay, and, or like, you know, like I said, I just
I
admitted.
wasn't even being
he-
hostile.
Yes, you admitted that, but also, you know,
But just like she said, she wouldn't have known about it until you pointed it out. So like,
and now everybody on the internet,
I mean, you can see her hand. It's obvious.
I
didn't notice, and I was
I
sitting
didn't
right
I
next to
looked at her
notice.
hand and I saw them.
I saw it right there.
nobody noticed.
If you're sitting next to her, you because I was sitting right here.
I
And when
was
he
sitting
said
right
it, I
next
looked
to her
and
and I
I
didn't
saw
say
it, and I
anything.
was like, okay, but it is about feelings. Because her feelings,
But I think
like
if
you said,
don't have feelings, you're not a human. Like at the end of the day, I'm sorry.
I mean,
that means you're
everybody
actually
has-
really cold if you don't have any.
I mean, but
feelings.
no, it's not about that.
Well, everyone
it's
has
like,
feelings about controlling your feelings. The problem
Everybody
is that,
has
like,
feelings.
what
Yeah,
we're
but
saying,
nobody's an expert at that. Like if somebody.
that was our argument, is that men are better at controlling their emotions and being deductive problem solvers, etc. That was the argument we were making in the first place, that women are ruled by their emotions.
No, I know, but I'm just saying from what that topic has gotten to
Yeah.
is not exactly the
It's not.
same. It's not equivalent at all.
What?
She's
It
well,
absolutely is.
No, it's not, because she's just talking about how it was brought up about her scars, and like that just
So
obviously
wait,
it's gonna trigger her.
So
It's
a
like
question. So a question.
if somebody had cancer
wait,
and their
pause,
head
pause.
was shaved,
I
and you
literally
brought it
before I
up,
started dating my
like-
boyfriend, I had scars
She's in
and I
control
had
of cutting
men.
herself. She's not in control of getting cancer. Not the same at all.
I've had men tell me
I'm
that they
just saying,
never
if
want
you
to be with me
pointed it
because of
out,
my
it's gonna
scars.
be emotional.
Like-
That's all I'm saying. Like it's like just because you handle it very strong and like good for you, that doesn't mean every other person is going
There's
to
a difference between men and
too.
women, bro.
Wait.
Yo,
Yo.
with men, you see a guy doing that shit, be like, yo, stop being a fucking pussy, grab your balls, and get your life together. With women, oh, it's okay. Let's be in our safe
Just
space and
cuddle her.
crying. And if anything,
Bruh.
honestly, if we're going to talk about self-deletion, men are far more likely to be successful self-deletion because men live harder lives.
All the way.
That's the truth.
Men do live harder lives.
Way
There's
harder
a lot
lives.
more. There's
Girls
a
live
lot
life on
more.
easy mode, bro. Like that's a fact.
I was
That's not
just
even-
having this conversation
Women
with
live
my
life on easy
friend.
mode, and that I have a
do.
bunch of numbers and facts to prove that women, because women are able to enjoy all the benefits and privileges of equality while simultaneously being able to be treated like ladies, which is inherently better treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Women
not
have
wrong.
opportunities that men will never get, but they still have all the same responsibilities and not even the same responsibilities, the same authorities that men do. Y'all don't have to go into elective service and serve in the military. Yet you guys can vote.
Yeah, you do actually. It depends where you were raised. Because if I were raised in Israel,
Yes,
which I
Israel
was,
is mandatory.
you're actually forced to.
But I'm talking about the
serve in
United States.
Okay, but I'm just saying it depends, because if you're talking about statistics and you're talking about numbers,
Yes.
so that means you're talking about all over the world, not just the U.S. And you're actually forced to go into the military in Israel.
No,
Israel is a unique situation because Israel.
It's not just Israel, but I'm speaking on behalf of Israel because it's what I know. I have the knowledge on.
Once again,
So
bringing it
that's
back
what
to your
I'm
personal
saying.
experience. I'm talking about in the United States, a first world Western country where feminism is extremely strong. Women have all the privileges and rights of men while simultaneously still being able to enjoy female privileges that men never get.
True.
So you're equal.
Yes, but if you look at the majority of the people in the U.S., a lot of them are immigrants, and not a lot of them are actually born and raised in the U.S.
What
So
does that
that
have to do with
means-
anything?
What does that have to do
Oh,
with
it
anything?
has to do a lot with things, because if you're living in the U.S. for a certain amount of time, then you have privileges versus others if they just come here for the first time and don't have those privileges. So,
What?
but that's if you're actually getting into the nitty gritty of things.
I mean, okay, you just totally moved the goalpost. That doesn't change the fact that women have life on easy mode, is my argument. Because
But-
you guys don't have the
but
same
do we?
responsibilities
I
that
don't
men
know.
do while
Men
having all
have
the same
so
authorities.
many more responsibilities.
You
than
have all
women.
the same authorities that I do as a man, but I have more responsibilities than you.
Yeah, but we have things that control us, and
Like what?
Like what?
like you keep saying, emotions and things that we can't control because due to our
If you
hormones,
can't
due
control
to
your emotions, whose
XYZ.
fault is that?
Well, it is our fault. I'm not
That's
saying
what
it's
I'm
not
trying
our
to say,
fault.
bro. Like, yo,
But it's
no
things,
accountability.
That's the whole
but
argument.
it's things that we don't have control over, is what I'm trying to say, because it's
You
things,
actually do. It's just hard.
no,
Yeah.
it's harder though than men,
But
because men have a little bit of an easier control of their emotions than women do, because they don't have all these things called hormones that women do whenever they give birth,
doesn't
or
change
if
the
they have a
fact that you still
C-section or
can't control them.
postpartum. I'm not saying that we can't. All I'm saying, it's a little bit harder. So the same effort that
This is
you
incredible.
guys put. I'm sorry.
No, this is incredible. Like, you're doing everything in your power to avoid accountability.
No,
But continue. This is
I'm
I'm
awesome.
not avoiding accountability. I'm
you
just
quite
saying.
literally are.
No, I'm not, because what I said was it is harder. I'm not saying it is impossible. I'm saying it's harder than it is for a man. That's all I'm saying. It's harder.
Okay.
I'm not taking.
You know what? Let's go ahead and go with that. That it's a little bit harder for women to control their emotions. Guess what? Everything else in life is easier. So I'll take that little bit more difficulty in controlling my emotions when I can go ahead and get certain opportunities that men will never get just because I'm a female.
Even being an immigrant.
Name one right or privilege that men enjoy that women don't in the United States,
Just one.
besides being able